Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Let's Play Dungeon Defenders, Episode 4. Now this level is going to be very interesting because it has the first real boss. The ogres were just mini bosses, and this level, like I said, has a boss. But we'll get to that in a minute, because as you might be able to tell, there's a lot more chests right at the beginning to give you a good starting mana count. I'm not going to open that one just because I don't have enough for all 4 green gems, so I'm just going to leave it 2. I'm going to leave them there. Okay, so on the map, you can see it's pretty much symmetrical, horizontally, or would that be vertically? I don't know. Top and bottom are mirrored. So there's a few different strategies you can do on this level. You can either come over here and place like a tower facing that way, just to cover this little area, which I think I am probably going to do. There's a strategy that I call containment, which basically you just keep those towers on both sides facing in here to get rid of those, and then do the same thing on the other side, and then place a tower here to get rid of that one enemy, and then place another tower here to get rid of these, and then again do the same thing on both sides. Now I call it containment because it keeps all the enemies near their doors and not roaming about the level, because at the end of this, on the 7th wave, a giant boss is going to fly in, land right here, and then start attacking, and he won't hurt the crystal, he'll only hurt you, and he'll only really go after you, but he can hurt defenses. So if I use containment and have all the enemies stuck near their doors being killed, then they won't get in the way when I'm trying to defeat the enemy, or defeat the boss. However, because I'm a builder type, I'm going to need my towers to defeat the boss, because it'll take forever if I try to attack him on my own. So if I try to, just fight him on my own without the towers, then it's going to take a long time. And if I put too many towers all across the map, then it's going to take away from the towers that I used to defeat the boss. And the quicker I defeat him, the better, because the enemies are still going to keep coming in, no matter how long the boss takes, even though I don't gain experience for it. Now, yeah, I'll try something else. Okay, so with the fireball tower, I've already mentioned this a couple times, but it's stronger and has more range than the magic missile tower, but it can only attack enemies that aren't the fire type. And I don't think it does any extra damage to any other specific type. So it's not like a type advantage, it's just a type disadvantage, I guess. Now, I put the magic missile, or not magic missile, the magic blockade there, because then any fire enemies that attack it will lose their fire ability, and then the fire tower can destroy them. And any other elements will also lose their ability. Now here, I am going to use, let's see, you know what, I'm going to put this tower here, and I'm going to fight the majority. Oh wait, oh man, I have another chest I could have used. Another chest, not chest. Let's see if I can build it quick enough. So those two will be helpful. So now, the left side of the map will be defended by those, even though barely any enemies went over there. But now it's up to me and my magic missile towers to defend against the rest of these, which really the better strategy would have been to spend all my towers here and then just have me attacking the enemies that go from behind, because as you can tell, a lot more enemies come from this way than from behind. However, I usually have a tendency in this level to build all my defenses in front, and then I never put anything in the back, so then I end up having to take care of all of the back enemies on my own. I mean, I do okay on my own on this level, or at least on this first wave, because as you'll see, only the first wave is this easy, which I mean is kind of obvious, but the enemies actually do get stronger after the first wave, which technically we start on the third wave, which I'm never really sure why. Never really looked into that. But now, I'm just going to put a whole bunch of magic missile towers, because, like I said, the boss is going to come and it's going to be landing like right in front of these towers, right about where I'm standing. So having this big line of defense is very helpful. Now, the boss does move around, and he's not just going to stand there and take the attacks of the towers. So it would be better if I placed them like all around this area, but my towers don't have very much range right now, so spreading them out isn't going to do that much help. But if I group them all together, then they can all attack at once, even if it's just right at the beginning, and do a large amount of damage right then. Now I can also lure the boss, because he will target me and kind of prioritize me if I just stand in front of him. And now that I'm looking at this is a long line of magic missile towers. That's all of them, yeah. So, I've already talked about this before, but oh yeah, I've already got gloves, because they increase my movement speed. So yeah, that's a lot of magic missile towers. So I should be very well defended in the front. Because let's see how many this is. 12 magic missile towers forming a little wall in front, and again, there's hardly any enemies in the back, but hopefully this should work out well. Yeah, this is going to be good. Because there's so many all lined up in a wall, the attack rate essentially is pretty high, and because they're spread out, it's not just like one or two towers attacking at once, I guess. I'm also going to place some fireball towers, because again, they do have bigger range and bigger damage, so they'll be able to attack the boss for a longer period of time because they have a longer range, in which he'll be in their range for a longer time because the range is bigger, if that makes sense. And then when he is in the range, he'll be taking more damage because the fireball towers are more powerful. Which I probably say too much. But again, because I have, well not again, but because I have so much defense units, I mean like I can place so many more, and this would be really good. Yeah. Now you might notice that I upgraded their HP, but they didn't look as if they were hurt. That is because they already have so much, they already have so much HP that the minor increase that 1 point put into it wasn't enough for it to really make much of a difference. Except for on the tower, that apparently did get hurt by one of the enemies, so that one I am going to have to repair, although instead of repairing, I'm going to spend the rest of the mana that I ever get on this level into upgrading all of these, because this is a lot of towers, and if I just leave them as they are, then they're good, but once I finish up my defense units, then there's not really going to be much else I can do except upgrade. Let's see. I can only build a couple more. I think just one. Oh, yeah. Alright, so now I'm just going to use the rest of the mana I get to upgrade all these. Which is going to take about 2,400 to upgrade all of these once, because there's about 24 of them. So let's get right on that. One. Okay, So yeah, I don't think any enemies are going to get past this. Although, again, I'm not sure exactly how effective it's going to be against the boss, because it is kind of spread out, so they're not all going to attack the boss at once, I don't think. Because the boss isn't that big. But he is pretty big. And then the kobolds, those are going to be a bit of a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. Because they're not always within range of the magic missile towers, so then they're able to light their fuse and just zoom in and attack before my towers are able to destroy it. And what I really like about this is that then I can just... What I like about this level is you can just sort of run through, enemies won't really focus on you too much, and you can just get a bunch of mana as you run by. But obviously it is a bit dangerous because you are out of the range of your towers, so the enemies can, you know, kill you if you're not careful. If you're not fast enough, or if there's a big enough group that you get stuck behind or something. But I mean, it does give you quite a bit of mana sometimes if you do it at the right time. Just checking the mini-map to see how well my fire towers are, how well they're doing in the back, making sure that there's no like kobolds or anything destroying the walls. Now again, because I filled out the defense unit limit, I should get a lot of experience bonus from that. So hopefully I should level up once or twice before the boss. Maybe not. Maybe just once. And I'm pretty sure I'm only going to be able to upgrade all of these once. I don't think I'm going to be able to get enough mana to upgrade them all twice. Or even one of them twice. Maybe once. And I know I said in the last video, or maybe the first one, that you should always try to get the mana on the ground before you open up chests. But as you might notice, I probably break my rules more often than I follow them. Because I'll make a rule and think, okay, yeah, I'll always do that. And then a couple seconds later think, I'll try something else. And then it usually results in me not doing very well, or being in some way not as efficient as I could have been. Which isn't always, well, it probably is always a bad thing, but it's never always a significant thing. Like, I'm never gonna lose a match based on if I open a chest before I clear the ground. At least I don't think that's ever happened. And I don't think that ever will. So let's see, 5, 6 more 100. Yeah, I could probably upgrade a few twice. I'll probably upgrade the fire towers more. Oh wait, I missed a chest. Also, I'm not sure if I talked about it very much, but you also get items or equipment. You also get equipment from the chests after the first wave. So I think I remember reading that the items get more valuable, or they have more stats if you open the chest during the combat phase. But obviously if you need that mana to upgrade something or build something, then it's going to be more helpful if you do it during the build phase, so that you can build things faster and you don't have enemies all over the place. So it doesn't really bother me much if I open it before or after the combat phase, because I don't really use equipment much anyways. And I think that's it. Yep. So now I'll just 200, and then upgrade the fireball tower. And actually, that magic blockade looked a bit low, so I'm actually going to upgrade it. Just cuz. I'm going to upgrade both of them. Just cuz. I also like to call this strategy the strategy of using a bunch of magic missile towers. I like to call it Starfall, just because it sounds kind of cool, and all those magic missiles kind of look like a star storm or something. Meaning like from Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Ness and Lucas, their specials, their final smashes. If you know what I'm talking about, then that makes sense. If you don't, then that doesn't, obviously. Yeah, I probably should have upgraded the other side to keep everything symmetrical, which I'm probably going to do right now. And as it said, that it's a boss wave, and that it doesn't mean that right as the wave starts, the boss is going to appear. After this wave is over, then it gives you a little 15-second waiting period, I guess, where it just says that the boss is coming, and then it counts down from 15 to 1, and then the boss appears with a little cinematic, and then you have to fight him. And they're pretty tough. They have a whole bunch of HP, and in a similar way, which I don't think I've talked about yet, if you're playing with multiple people, then more enemies appear during the waves, and I'm not sure if necessarily you'll get... It's not like twice as much if you have 2 people, but I'm not sure if the experience per enemy changes if you have more people. Like if, just hypothetically, if there were twice as many people, twice as many enemies, if you have 2 people instead of 1, then I'm not sure if you would actually get twice as much experience, or just like 1.5 as much, or something. So yeah, I'm just going to upgrade a few of these middle towers as much as I can. Oops. Just cancel that one. Upgrade the middle one. Because the boss does appear right in front, so it's more likely that the towers in the middle will be able to hit him rather than the towers in the side. And also increasing their, or upgrading them increases their health, so they'll survive a bit longer. Because the boss probably will move pretty quickly once he appears and the battle starts. You know, I keep thinking I should probably be looking at the action, like the actual enemies being killed, so that you can actually look at something that looks cool. Also, the mage, I think are introduced in here, and I think I just killed the last of them. There'll probably be another one. But in case you didn't notice, the mage, he moves kind of slow. He has a fireball attack, and he can summon skeletons, and he heals. All of those things, minus the slow walking, make him very powerful, or very difficult, very, what's the word, troublesome. That is a better word, because if you leave him alone, he's going to heal, and he'll heal the enemies, his allies, the other minions, enemies, I don't even know what to call them. And again, he makes skeletons. He can summon like 3 skeletons per mage, so they're like 6 mages, and that's 18 skeletons. It adds up when you get a big bunch of them. And if you have towers, like a fireball tower, if it's not strong enough to, like if it's just starting, like at the beginning, if it's not strong enough to kill them, and it's too slow to hit them before they heal, then they can just keep living and healing others, and before you know it, there'll be a big group of enemies all swarming on your towers, and you can't kill them, and it's really annoying. But really, I've only had problems with that on like one specific level, which I'll talk about once I get to that level. Let's see how many more I can upgrade. Probably just one, maybe two. So yeah, mages are annoying, but thankfully so far there's only been them. They've only been on this round, and yeah. Okay, so the boss obviously is coming in 6 seconds, and I'm just trying to get some more mana. Try to upgrade something real quick, but no, I'm just gonna wait back here because these things will be important in quite, well, just 1 second. And that is the Demon Lord. He is the boss. In a bad way. And those Tesla towers that just turned on don't actually do anything to you, but they do have an amount of health. And if you, well, I should just look at him. And wow, they are doing a lot more damage than I thought they would. Wow. Okay, well, that was easy. What I was gonna say was that these Tesla towers have a bit of health, and when you attack them and defeat them, all of them, then they unleash this Tesla attack. Let's see which one. Yeah. Right? No. Yes. Okay. I was confused on how to keep them all even. Anyways, the boss drops a whole bunch of mana, and as I was saying, the Tesla attack just does a bunch of damage to the boss and stuns him for a little while, which is very helpful, but obviously it was unnecessary, and I don't need to collect all this mana if I have all this mana. There's billions of mana, and the boss just stays there. Can't really do anything else with him. Then a bunch of equipment all around. On the item box, what you also get is the Demonic Heirloom, which is the Apprentice item from the boss. And if I equip it, then it just increases my stats, obviously by those, you can tell. And I'm going to give it to my hero. And this, yeah, I'll give it to him, give that to him too. Because now, oops, not that, no. Hero info. And as you can see, there's this thing at the bottom. Hopefully iTunes. Okay, so I just cut that out a bit. Just me closing the other programs that were open. The Torn Unlucky Plate Coat Level 1. It's a long name for just armor. It gets rid of 13% and 12% of my resistance to poison and fire, which doesn't make any sense. Why would that be a good thing at all? But it does increase my tower's attack damage by 4, and range by 1, and my casting rate by 7. So that's helpful, because now I've got all these stats. Demonic Heirloom increases my damage, and hero casting rate, and defense health bonus, and defense attack rate bonus, and blah blah blah. You can press Q, just a second, press Q to look at yourself. Like that. Hey, look, he does have a face under there. Yeah, look at that item, that weapon. You can see that this weapon shoots out 4 beams, or 4 bolts of magic instead of the normal 1. It doesn't, like, shoot extra shockwaves or anything. So yeah, this is it. This is it for this episode. There's a bunch of equipment and stuff that I could pick up, but I don't need it. So, because it's already probably kind of a long episode, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.